तुझसे राहते तुझसे चाहते तू जो मिली एक दिन मुझे मैं कहीं हो गया लापता ओ जाने जा बोलो जा मेरी बाहों में आ भूल जा.
Inside the office, Ryan couldn't shake off the feeling of bewilderment. Taehyung's sudden change in behavior seemed too good to be true. As they settled at their cabins, you was trying to concentrate on your work, but Taehyung was not getting out of your head. What's gotten into him? It's not like Taehyung to be so nice. How can he get this much change in a month? Meanwhile, in the cabin, Taehyung paced back and forth, frustration evident on his face. He couldn't believe he had let his guard down, even if it was just for a moment. Stupid! How could I have been so weak? Fixing her heels like some lovesick fool? Must be losing my edge. Taehyung was so frustrated that he kept Ryan priority over his ego. That was not satisfying for him. After some time, Taehyung's frustration reached its peak as he stormed out of his cabin and headed straight for Ryan's. He knocked sharply on her door, his jaw set with determination. Ryan, come out, we are going to lunch. Ryan glanced up for her work, her expression a mixture of confusion and suspicion. Lunch? Why all of a sudden, Taehyung? What game are you playing now? Taehyung's patience wore thin, his tone dripping with sarcasm. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to send you a memo before deciding to eat? Ryan's eyes narrowed, her voice laced with sarcasm. How considerate of you, but I think I don't want to have lunch with you. I know your intentions behind these acts, so please get out of here now, you said with sarcastic smile on your face. Taehyung's temper flared, his words sharp and cutting. So just serve. I'm sure there are plenty of other women who would be more than willing to accompany me. With that, Taehyung turned on his back and stormed back to his cabin, his frustration boiling over. Once inside, he dialed the number on his phone, his voice cold and detached. I need you to come over right now. Meanwhile, Ryan hesitated for a moment before deciding to give Taehyung the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he really did want to have lunch with her, but as she opened the door to his cabin, her hopes were shattered in an instant. Ryan's eyes widened in disbelief as she took in the scene before her. Taehyung was with another woman having ramen, and their laughter were filling the room. Without a word, you turned on heel and stormed out of the cabin, your heart heavy with disappointment and anger. That brat can never change. Ryan returned home weary from the events of the day, only to find Taehyung sprawled out on her bed, watching videos on his phone and laughing uproariously. What are you doing here? Taehyung looked up, a mischievous twinkle in his eyes. Just enjoying some entertainment. What does it look like? Ryan rolled her eyes, her irritation growing by the second. Get out of my room. Taehyung, you have your own space. Taehyung's grin widened as he made himself more comfortable on the bed. But this is my room too, darling. Remember, we are married? Ryan scoffed, her patience wearing thin. Just because we are married doesn't mean you can invade my personal space whenever you feel like it. Taehyung chuckled, unfazed by Ryan's irritation. Come on, Ryan, lighten up. We are stuck with each other, so we might as well make the best out of it. Ryan's eyes lit up with a mischievous as an idea come in her mind. She turned to Taehyung with a sly smile. You know what, Taehyung? You're absolutely right. We're married, so why shouldn't we share the room? Taehyung's face lit up with excitement, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. Really? You mean it? Ryan nodded, her smile widening as she took a step closer to him. But as Taehyung leaned in eagerly, Ryan swiftly grabbed him by the shoulder and with a quick practice motion, pushed him out of the room and slammed the door shut, locking it in his face. Not even in your wildest dreams, I am sharing room with you, Kim Taehyung. Taehyung stood outside the door, stunned and speechless, for a moment before bursting into laughter at Ryan's bold move. Well played, Ryan, well played. Ryan smirked from inside the room, revealing in her small victory over Taehyung. Ryan reached into the refrigerator to grab a bottle of water. her hand closing around the cool plastic when suddenly she felt a presence behind her. Startled, she spun around, water bottle in her hand, and let out a surprised yelp, accidentally splashing the water on Taeyong. You took a moment to digest your act. Oh my goodness, Taeyong, I didn't mean to give you a shot. Taeyong, his shirt now soaked, scowled at Ryan, his irritation clear on his face. Are you possessed, Ryan? What's all this out of sudden? Ryan couldn't help but laugh even harder at Taeyong's disgruntled expression. You look like a wet puppy, Taeyong. Did I interrupt your daydreaming again? Taeyong's scowl deepened, his competitive spirit kicking in. Ryan, you're gone now. I will take the revenge. With a mischievous glint in his eyes, Taeyong grabbed the nearby bottle and took off after Ryan. His wet footsteps echoing through the kitchen as he plotted his retaliation. Van squealed in mock terror, darting around the kitchen island as Taeyong pursued her with determination. You will have to catch me first, Taeyong. Taeyong shot her a mock glare, his competitive streak fueling his chase. Just you wait, Ryan, I will drench in water from top to bottom. And with that, the water fight ensued, filling the kitchen with laughter and the sound of splashing water as Ryan and Taeyong playfully chased each other around, their earlier tension forgotten in the midst of their childish antics. A month later, as days went by, Taeyong's behavior changed. He stopped flirting with other women and focused solely on Ryan. He teased and played with her, bringing laughter into their interaction. Taeyong surprised Ryan with homemade meals and flowers, showing genuine care. Without realizing it, his feelings for Ryan grew deeper. He found himself drawn to her presence, wanting to make her happy. Taeyong's heart began to open up to Ryan. Though he didn't understand it at first, he had fallen for her, his affection for her blossoming with each passing day. Ryan sat on the floor, her mind swirling with conflicted thoughts. Despite having a boyfriend, she couldn't deny the growing attraction she felt towards Taeyong. He offered her a warmth and understanding she longed for her relationship. Lost in her thoughts, Ryan didn't notice Taeyong's entrance until he appeared beside her, holding a cake he had made. However, instead of the usual mischievous glint in his face, he saw her silent tears and joined her without a word, gently patting her head. Ryan, what's wrong? Why are you crying? Ryan brushed away her tears, her voice choked with emotion. Just leave me alone, Taeyong. Taeyong hesitated, torn between his desire to comfort her and respecting her space. But before he could say anything, the doorbell rang, interrupting the moment. I'll be right back, Ryan. As Taeyong went to open the door, Ryan's heart felt heavy with unspoken emotions. Unsure of what the future held for her, tangled feelings towards Taeyong and her current relationship. As Taeyong opened the door, Lydia rushed into his arms, clinging to him tightly. Taeyong attempted to gently extricate himself, but Lydia's grip remained firm. Lydia, please let go. Taeyong, I missed you so much. Taeyong sighed, her expression conflict as he tried to reason with her. Lydia, what we had in the past, it's over. But before he could say anything else, Lydia pressed her lips against his, catching him off guard. Meanwhile, upstairs, Ryan's heart shattered as she witnessed the scene unfold, her mind reeling with confusion and pain. How could I have been so foolish? He's not sincere. I need to end this feeling. With resolve in her heart, Ryan reached for her phone and dialed Lucas, her boyfriend, determined to put an end to the confusion once and for all. Meanwhile, downstairs, Taeyong gently pushed Lydia away, his voice firm and gentle. Lydia, whatever happened between us in the past was a mistake. It's over now. Lydia's eyes welled up with tears, but she nodded, accepting Taeyong's word. I understand, Taeyong, but I just missed you. Taeyong sighed, his heart heavy with guilt as he watched Lydia leave. Ryan dialed Lucas' number, her hand heavy with uncertainty as she waited for him to pick up. Hey Lucas, it's me. Oh, hi Ryan, what's up? Ryan's brow furrowed at Lucas' distant tone, sensing something amiss. It's been so long since he called me. Don't you miss me, love? It's not like that, Ryan. It's difficult for me too. I was just wondering when you're planning to come back to visit me. Lucas paused for a moment before replying. Things are pretty hectic over here. I'm not sure when I'll be able to make it back. Ryan's heart sank at Luca's response, feeling disappointed at his lack of enthusiasm. Oh, I see. Well, I miss you so much, Lucas. Alright, I have more important works to do. Ryan's heart sank further at Lucas' attempt to avoid the topic, realizing that perhaps their relationship wasn't as strong as she hoped. Yeah, I see. Take care. With a heavy sigh, Ryan ended the call, her mind swirling with doubts and insecurities about her relationship with Lucas. Ryan stood in the kitchen, the aroma of cooking filling the air as she prepared a meal for herself and Taehyung. Her thoughts drifted to her best friend Jessie, whose call had brightened her mood. Hey Jessie, after so long you called, Bish. Bish, I miss talking to you. How's everything going? Oh, same old, just getting by. What about you? As they caught up, Jessie's question about Lucas makes Ryan's heart skip a bit. So, have you seen Lucas lately? Ryan's smile widened as she replied. Actually, no. He's still in States. I called him earlier today. Jessie's excitement was palpable through the phone. No way. I swear I saw him in his apartment today. Maybe he's planning a surprise for you. Ryan's heart raced with excitement at the thought of Lucas planning a surprise for her. Really? Oh my gosh, Jesse, that's amazing. I need to do something special for him too. With renewed enthusiasm, Ryan began to brainstorm ideas for the perfect surprise for Lucas. Next day, Ryan stood at Lucas' apartment door, her heart pounding with excitement as she waited to surprise him, dressed in his favorite color dress and clutching a bouquet of flowers and a box of his favorite cookies. She couldn't wait to see the look of delight on his face. But as the door swung open, her excitement turned to shock and disbelief at the sight before her. Oh, I'm sorry, I must have gone the wrong address. A girl with her messy hair and ruined lipstick opened the door, looked confused for a moment before Lucas appeared behind her with lipstick on his lips, a guilty expression on his face. Ryan, wait! Ryan's heart shuddered at the sight of Lucas with another woman, her voice trembling with hurt and anger. How could you, Lucas, how could you do this to me? Lucas reached out to touch her waist, but Ryan recoiled, her eyes flashing with betrayal. Don't touch me, with tears streaming down her cheeks. Ryan, believe me, I love. You gave him a hard slap on his face and turned on your heels and fled. The pain of Lucas' betrayal weighing heavy on her heart, she drove aimlessly, the tears blurring her vision as she struggled to come to the terms with the scattered pieces of her once happy relationship. As Taehyung woke up, he found himself searching the house for Ryan, but she was nowhere to be found, nor was the car in the driveway. He assumed he had gone to the office early, but an idea sparked in his mind. Tonight, he would finally explain the Lydia situation to her over dinner. In the evening, Taehyung busied himself in the kitchen preparing a special meal for Ryan. He couldn't help but feel a flutter of excitement in his chest as he imagined her reaction. She is going to be so surprised. I hope she understands and forgives me. I need to make things right with her tonight. Taehyung's excitement turned to a concern as the hours passed by and Ryan still hadn't returned home. He checked the clock repeatedly, his heart sinking with each passing minute. Where she could be? She should have been back by now. As the office hours come to an end and Ryan still didn't arrive, Taehyung's concern deepened. I need to check if everything okay. Maybe she's stuck in traffic or extra work. He dialed the office number, his heart pounding with worry as he waited for someone to pick. Hello, this is Taehyung. Can I speak to Ryan, please? The voice on the other end confirmed his fear, informing him that Ryan had taken the day off. But why would she do that without telling me? Where could she have gone? Concern etched deep lines on Taehyung's face as he paced the room, his mind racing with the worry for Ryan's safety and well-being. The shrill ring of the phone shattered the silence, jolting Taehyung out of his worried thoughts. With trembling hands, he answered, his heart pounding in his chest. Hello? The words, on the other hand, hit him like a freight train, leaving him frozen in shock. What do you mean? Ryan's been in accident. His mind reeling, Taehyung rushed to the hospital, his heart heavy with dread. Tears blurred his vision as he raced through the corridors, praying for Ryan's safety. Please let her be okay. I can't lose her. As he reached her bedside, his breath caught in his throat as the sight of Ryan laying there, her body battered and bruised. Ryan? He reached out to hold her hand, his touch gentle as he whispered words of comfort, his heart breaking at the sight of her pain. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I'm so sorry, Ryan. I should have been there for you. Please, please be okay. I can't bear to lose you, he said, sobbing. After 2 days, as the days stretched on, Taehyung remained by Ryan's side, his heart heavy with worry and fear. He watched over her, his eyes filled with tears as she lay unconscious, her form so fragile and still. Ryan, please, please wake up. I need you. I can't bear to see you like this. He held her hand tightly, his grip trembling with emotion as he pleaded with her to come back to him. As Young poured out his heart to Ryan, his tears fell onto her hand, a silent plea for her to come back to him. To his surprise and relief, her hand twitched, a small sign of relief that reignited hope in his heart. You're my everything, Ryan. I can't imagine my life without you. Please don't leave me alone. Please come back to me. His tears fell freely onto her hand, his voice choked with sorrow as he poured out his love and desperation. I love you, Ryan. Please hear me. Please come back to me. I need you more than anything in this world. With every fiber on his being, Taehyung prayed for Ryan's recovery, his heart aching with the fear of losing her forever. Doctor, please come quick. Ryan's hand moved. With trembling hands, Taehyung gently kissed Ryan's forehead, his emotion overflowing as he waited for her to wake up. Hang in there, Ryan. You're going to be okay. I love you so much. As Ryan slowly opened her eyes, Young's heart swelled with joy and relief, his eyes swollen from tears of worry and love. Ryan, you're awake? Thank goodness, I thought I lost you. I love you more than anything in this world. After a few days, as the doctor discharged Ryan from the hospital, Young felt a mix of relief and apprehension. He knew that bringing her home was just the beginning of her recovery journey, and he was determined to be there for her every step of the way. As Taehyung took on the role of caretaker for Ryan, his love and dedication knew no bounds. He prepared meals for her with meticulous care, ensuring they were nutritious and comforting. Sitting by her side, he gently fed her with his own hands, his touch tender and reassuring. After Ryan got fully recovered, Mr. Kim told her not to come to office as it will cause her problems, but she still insisted for working, so now she was working from home. Meanwhile, Young went with his friends Matteo and Jungkook to have some catch up with them. As Ryan worked diligently on her laptop, her mind wandered to Taehyung and his rare outing with his friends. Suddenly, the sound of something scattering in Taehyung's room jolted her from her thoughts. Concerned, she made her way to his room, a place she never had ventured into before. Miss Ryan, please don't go in there. It's not safe with all the broken glasses. But Ryan's curiosity got the better of her as she spotted the broken pictures frame on the floor. I need to see what happened. I can't ignore this. Carefully picking up the broken pieces, Ryan's heart sank and she saw the scattered image of Taehyung and with another woman. Who is she? Her mind raced with questions as she scanned the room, her eyes falling on the closed drawer. What's in here? Ignoring the maid's protest, Vine opened the drawer and found a diary tucked inside. With trembling hands, she flipped through the pages, her heart pounding with the anticipation as she uncovered the secrets hidden within its pages. As Vine flipped through the pages of Taehyung's diary, her heart swelled with a mixture of emotions. Each entry was a testament to Taehyung's deep love and affection for Camellia, written with such sincerity and tenderness that it brought tears to her eyes. He loved her so much. I had no idea. Her fingers traced over the dates and entries, each one capturing a precious moment shared between Taehyung and Camellia, the first time he confessed his feelings, Their laughter filled dates, the thrill of their first kiss. Every detail painted a picture of a love so pure and beautiful that it warmed Vian's heart. Vian tears fell freely as she discovered a dried rose pressed between the pages, a symbol of their love frozen in time. It was clear that Young had cherished every moment he spent with Camellia, his love evident in every word he wrote. I never knew he loved her with all his heart, but as she turned to the next page, her heart sank at the sight of the blank space staring back at her. It was as if Young's love story had come to an abrupt end, leaving behind nothing but empty pages and unanswered questions. As Young attempted to surprise Ryan, her tearful response caught him off guard. He embraced her, but her tears spoke volumes, leaving him puzzled. Ta-da! Ryan's hug and gentle pat on his back hinted at his distress, and Young's eyes fell on the diary, realizing she had read it. Young, what happened after that? Ryan's question pierced the tense and silence, her eyes pleading for the answer. It's in the past, Ryan. Let it go. Give me the diary. But Ryan clung to the diary, her determination unwavering despite Young's insistence. Young, please, I need to know. Young's patience frayed, his tone growing sharp as he demanded the diary. Give it to me now! Ryan held firm, her resolve unyielding even in the face of Young's rising anger. I hate her! I don't want to talk about her. Leave it! With those words, Young snatched the diary and stormed out, leaving Ryan alone with her thoughts and the heart heavy with unanswered questions. As Ryan approached Young in his room, she saw him gazing at the diary, her tears glistening his eyes. Placing a gentle hand on his shoulder, he turned to her face her, his expression filled with remorse. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have reacted like that. It's okay, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. 3 years ago, we broke up. Van sat beside him, offering him comfort as he continued. But why? When I was 10 and my mother passed away, I felt so alone. My dad was always busy with work and I had no one to turn to. Then I met her in high school. She brought happiness back to my life, and I never thought someone like me could find such a beautiful angel. What happened then? It was her birthday. I wanted to surprise her, so I went to her place with a ring and a cake I made. But she was already with another guy. She used you? How could someone be so cruel? After that, my friends took me to a bar. They said it would ease my pain. They taught me to just hook up with anyone because love doesn't exist. What she did was really wrong, but you also didn't handle things well. Hooking up with anyone and drinking isn't the solution, Theo. True love still exists in this world. Yeah, I think you're right, Ryan, he said, looking towards her. As much as I've known you, you're a completely different person than you show. You have a warm heart, you care a lot. You're perfect, Theo. That's why I'm in love with you. A smile spread across Young's lip at Ryan's sudden confession. I promise, Ryan, I will never ever do such things. I won't let you be alone. You have me by your side, Young, she said, and he hugged her tightly. Few days later at office, then he closed the file and rose to head towards Mr. Kim's office. As he approached the door, he overheard their conversation. You didn't invite us to Young's wedding. That's not fair, Mr. Kim. I thought we were on good terms, he chuckled. Mr. Lee, that wasn't an official marriage. It's just a contract marriage. Contract marriage? Yes, you know Young's history. That's why I proposed the contract marriage to Ryan, so she could guide him to the right path. And look, he's really shaping as I expected. Their laughter echoed in Young's ear, shattering him. All this was just a contract? Anger and tears welled up in his eyes. Unable to contain his rage, he stormed towards Ryan's office. Tay, let's have lunch. She smiled, but instead he grabbed her wrist forcefully and dragged her to the car. Throughout the ride, Ryan tried to understand what had happened, but Young was assumed by the anger and remained silent. Reaching home, Young was fuming with anger. What happened, Tay? Is everything okay? She tried to speak, but he cut her off. You're no different, Vian. What? How much did he promise you for this fake marriage, huh? Taehyung, listen, it's not like what you're thinking. Shh, no more lies. I'm sick of hearing lies. You said you love me, right? How much did you charge my dad to say that? Enough, Taehyung. At least listen to me once. I don't want to listen to any of your crap. I was so dumb to think you really loved me. But you're just after money. He stormed off to his room and locked himself in, leaving Vian in tears. Vian followed him and sat leaning against the door, tears streaming down her face as she listened to Taehyung's cries and the sound of things being broken in his room. Vian was sitting leaning against the door, tears streaming down her face. Believe me, Taehyung, I really love you. Listen to me just once. I really love you so much. Taehyung, also crying, leaned against the door inside the room. Just go away. Despite his words, Vian waited all night for him to open the door. Finally, he did. Vian, you're free. You don't have to fake this marriage anymore. Vian entered the room. Taehyung, enough. Listen to me now. I agree, this was a contract marriage at first, which I honestly did to escape from an actual marriage. I had a boyfriend, but he was working in US. I was waiting for him to come and meet my parents. But I didn't realize when I started having feelings for you. Then I saw Linda kissing you. That's why I called him and decided to surprise him. But he cheated on me. That's why I had that accident. Taehyung hugged her tightly. Vian, the way you were with me, the way you cared for me, I couldn't control myself from falling in love with you. I really mean every word I said to you. Breaking the hug, she looked into his eyes. Taehyung, I really love you. Believe me just once. She kissed him, tears streaming down her face. She could feel his wet tears on her face as he tightly grabbed her waist. I'm sorry, Vian. I said such things to you, but I really can't stand another heartbreak. Please don't ever leave me. Let's get married again. This time, till we have our last breath. Yes, Taehyung, let's get married for real. With that, they hugged each other tightly, promising a future together.